my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the dance. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. Honey yard dash. 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 They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best because I am. There's no need in keeping it low-key.
Matching hundreds. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This one taken from the 7. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
Here we go. Black 30. 49 to Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
On first down, it's Samuels. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, he's picking up where he left off last week. A tackle for loss there. And remember, coming off the end a week ago, 4 of them.
And I like how you said picking up, because that means he's probably using his hands really well. I know people don't think about it a whole lot. He's got to use those to control the people trying to block him, shed them, and get to the ball carrier in the offensive backfield.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
A gain of 12. Brings up
Trying to run for it with Snell. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10. They run the counter. Samuels. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now Snell.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Now it's Roethlisberger. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They'll run with Samuels. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. 2nd down and goal. Roethlisberger under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
So here are the Bills now under 3rd-year man Sean McDermott. They'll be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback from Wyoming, Josh Allen.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They run with a former Jaguar. It's T.J. Yeldon, and he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. The numbers for Yeldon on the ground last week. 19 carries, 127 yards, and a score.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Allen. And the grab by Croft. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down.
16 yards. 26.
1st down, Bills.
A 1st down carry now for Yeldon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. On 2nd and 15 now. Allen, and he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 22. Nothing fancy there. A little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut, as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. James Washington was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Roethlisberger. Complete to Washington. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. After the penalty, it's Yeldon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. 6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 30.
Heading back out there, Jalen Samuels. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On 2nd down, Samuels.
Jalen Samuels, the ball carrier.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
But it's brought in by Washington. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll go with Snell here on first down. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now Roethlisberger to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Benny Snell, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Check, 55 to Mike. All day, dog.
On first down, Allen. Caught by Jones. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. From midfield, here's Allen. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
First down, Bills.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. The Bills on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Allen now looks to throw, and that is incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, now this from 43. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. So after the INT, it's Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, and that'll make it 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Here's Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
Roethlisberger now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Now Roethlisberger, rush coming, and he's taken down. That was Jordan Poyer, the safety, in for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Boswell good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. Third down here. Throwing is Allen on third. That one complete to Yeldon. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
A gain of 2 brings up
3rd and 2, now Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete.
Roethlisberger's pass intended for Vance McDonald.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen now on 1st down. Short throw hauled in by Croft. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. Short throw hauled in by Croft. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Allen on 1st and 10, and this is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Allen. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that is incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Samuels. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Able to hit his tight end, Grimble. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go draw play. This is Samuels. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Alexander. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Allen. And able to find John Brown. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Allen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Allen, and this one caught by Beasley. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Allen going to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Allen. Hard throw, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept him in the game.
He sure has. That offense has got to find its rhythm because I'm not sure that just kicking field goals is going to allow them to win this game.
This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Heading back out there, Jalen Samuels. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Roethlisberger now 9 of 17 through the air. This is Samuels, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Staying on the ground with Samuels. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
Here we go.
First down, Bills.
Tight left. 3 down.
Throwing on first down is Allen. And the grab by Croft. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Allen. He finds Yeldon. The 3rd down run gets him nothing.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
yardage. Okay.
We got this.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll run with Samuels. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
He's brought down by Micah Hyde. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And he finds McDonald. 95 catches for him now on the year, and it's a first down. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down, Samuels. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Alexander on the stop.
58 for Mike. 58.
A gain of 1.
Mike.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. That's caught. It's Eli Rogers. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Sean Davis that time on the tackle. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 24, Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and in throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. To throw here, Roethlisberger. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's going deep for Brown. He's got a man, complete. And he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
At the 21-yard line.
Draw play. This is Yeldon. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, good job defensively to recover. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on second. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Robert Foster, his second touchdown on the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Hauschka with the extra point, as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Running to start the drive is Samuels. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for Vance McDonald. Incomplete.
Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have 1 right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Allen to throw again. And that is incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. And surging back, the Eagles have taken the lead there. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Pass incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And oh, he coughed it up.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Allen to throw it, and that'll be incomplete. T.J. Yeldon, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action with Roethlisberger. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Allen. Got a man. It's Brown.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Allen. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down. Jones last year led the Bills, 652 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns, more than doubled his production from 2017. Now they're hoping for an even bigger bump this year. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw, it's Allen. And he whips that one incomplete there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Allen's throw caught by Jones. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, they'll throw with Allen. This is caught. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Roethlisberger. His throw incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And the grab by Croft. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. They run it from the gun with Yeldon. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Allen. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. On 2nd down, it's Snell. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Samuels. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. A run for Snell. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete.
Incomplete. Intended for Juju Smith-Schuster.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return.
The Bills take over first and 10.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Hey, let's go. Interception. All day, baby. Let's get this.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was due in large part once again to the play of big number 7, their quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger.
And as you and I both know, there can be some really good Big Ben days. There can be some not quite as good Big Ben days. But they're always going to be exciting, aren't they? He makes plays. He stands in the pocket and delivers against a fierce rush. He can exit out at times. There's something special about that guy, and no game is out of reach when he's on the field.
So for the Steelers, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Bills, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.